Roberts, please relate to the court the incidents of that morning.
On July 22nd at approximately 0600 hours, we received a call from the local police. They had spotted the first sergeant's missing vehicle and pursued it for about a mile before it swerved off the road and crashed into a ditch.
And who was the driver of that car?
Private Wilkins.
Thank you, Private Roberts.
Now, when you treated Private Wilkins in the hospital after he collapsed, were you concerned about his psychological state?
Well, yes, he was emotionally distraught. He started shouting when I told him about the surgery.
So you would say then that he was in a distressed psychological state at the time he left the post?
Definitely.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You had a lot to drink that night, didn't you?
I had a few beers.
So you were drunk?
Objection. Your Honor, the prosecution has no evidence that Private Wilkins was drunk.
Sir, 3 or 4 beers can make a person legally drunk.
Your Honor, Private Wilkins was never given a sobriety test. This line of questioning is pure conjecture.
Sustained.
Private, did Dr. Bennett go over the specifics of your medical case with you?
Yes, sir.
Were you afraid you weren't getting the right medical treatment? Is that why you left?
No, it was just the thought of an operation that I tried to get away from.
Then you didn't leave because you felt the doctor's diagnosis was wrong.
No, I just didn't want to admit that I had a heart condition.
So you have no real reason to explain to this court why you broke Army regulations and left the post without permission.
Well,
is a treatable medical condition a valid reason to desert your post, steal the first sergeant's car, and then recklessly destroy it after running from the local police? Yes or no, Private Wilkins?
No, sir.
All rise. Please be seated. This court will now come to order. Would the accused and counsel please rise? Private James Wilkins, on the charge of larceny of non-military property, this court finds you guilty. On the charge of destruction of non-military property, this court finds you guilty. And on the charge of being absent without leave, this court finds you guilty. Private James Wilkins, you are hereby sentenced to 6 months in the local stockade, after which you'll be returned to your unit. This court-martial is now adjourned.
You got lucky, son.
I appreciate your work.
He should have been given a dishonorable discharge and a jail term. I don't know what's going on here.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Chip.
Chaplain, I got my life back. I can't believe it.
He's just beginning to work in your life, Jim. Could we have a couple of minutes, please?
Yes, sir, Chaplain. That'll be fine.
Jim, about your heart condition, may we begin to pray for that now?
Sure.
Sing it clear and sing it loud.
Sing it clear and sing it loud.
Infantry is mighty proud.
Infantry is mighty proud.
Left, right, left. Okay, hit the shower.
How are you doing, Jim? I used to get tired after walking 100 yards. Now I can run and I never seem to get tired. How do you suppose that happened?
I have a pretty good guess.
You know, I've been thinking about that guy from World War II, the one you were telling me about, who stole the car and was caught by the FBI.
Huh?
He committed a felony, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Then how could he get a job with the government as a chaplain?
Well, he received a presidential pardon, signed by President Truman himself. Seems they liked what he did during the war.
Presidential pardon, huh? Now I know why you stuck by me all the time.
I wasn't quite sure what he had planned for you, Jim. I did know that no matter how bad things got, God could straighten them all out.
What do you think he has in mind for me?
I don't know. I think you'd better make that decision before your sergeant decides for you.
You're right. I have to get going. Thank you, sir.